The Bengals offense is in serious trouble.
Oh, it's bad, man. No offense the last 2 weeks.
They got to get Jameis Winston. Jamar Chase and Higgins would be pretty happy because they know the ball's coming. They know it may not supposed to be but it's coming.
Triple coverage, still coming.
It's coming. It's coming. Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
And this is the show where your favorite dudes get to talk about their favorite dudes.
And today, we are talking about the biggest stories from the first 4 weeks of the NFL.
What are we talking about?
Well, is Jaxson Dart the savior in New York?
Our biggest surprises of the season so far?
And whoa. We pumped the brakes on some hot takes.
Ooh, that's got a little ringle jingle.
And then we wrap it up by taking a look at the Week 5 slates of games.
Let's go.
Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio.
Officially, all our Nut House, Boston, and live show content has been released. What do you guys think of it all? Leave a comment. How about that live show, Robbie? Huh?
Yeah, that live show was really cool, Jules. That was our first one. Well, we did our first one with Games with Names about a year ago. That was, pretty special. But then we took it to a whole another level. And we want to appreciate and thank all our fans for coming out. That was so cool.
Freaking awesome.
It was basically a sold-out theater at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway, which is a phenomenal venue. Super cool. It's brand new, basically. That was my first time there, and just the support that Boston showed once again. And that's why we love Boston. That's why, we're Patriots for life, Jules. No doubt about that. So once again, thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, guys. What was your favorite moment of it?
My favorite moment, I would say, is when Vince Wilfork finally revealed to me. I've been telling that story forever. My welcome to the NFL moment hit. He finally revealed to me that I was set up. Finally, I didn't know that. Jules, I truly did not know that Vince Wilfork knew I was coming to wham block him. Now it all makes sense. It truly does. And now it makes sense why Coach Ferentz, when we were in the meeting room the next day and we replayed that play and film, he literally looked at me, he goes, "You will never be doing that again," versus Vince Wilfork. And now it's all clicking why that wouldn't have happened again.
No.
Because I was set up. They just wanted to see my toughness, Jules, and I came through and I paid my dues and I got the respect from the older fellows, and that's what it's all about. And that's what you do when you're a young buck. You do whatever you got to do, man, whatever it takes. Banged up, blocking the defensive lineman. It doesn't matter. If you young bucks want reps, if you want young bucks want respect from veterans, well, get dirty. Get in the mud. Get down and dirty. Get in the trenches. Show them what it's all about. Show them you ain't backing down no matter what the situation is. And that's how you gain the respect of the older guys.
And we learned all this at the live show.
We really did.
That's a fucking moment right there, Rob. Well, I was going to say, I thought it was cool going from, when we did our little video at Fenway and we did it before the show. I thought it was just cool that we could go see Fenway from the music hall without even going in public. It was that was my moment. And then you gave this spectacular moment. I felt like my moment.
I really like your moment. And Jules, I've been to Fenway probably about, 20 times in my life. And I actually never seen Fenway from the outfield like that before. So
yeah,
that was a special moment. And on top of that, Peyton Pritchard coming in and hitting the half court shot. I mean, how many has he hit live in an NBA game and then to come to our live podcast and hit a half court shot live once again? That was a special moment, not just for us, but for the fans as well.
It is. It's going to be hard to top next year. How do we top it next year?
Well, first you can see the live show. It's out now and it's on YouTube. And how are we going to top it next year, Jules? We always find ways to top, the previous year. We did it with Super Bowls. Hey, how are we going to win another Super Bowl? Well, you dig deep, you grind, you get dirty, and you figure out a way. And that's what we're going to do once again.
Got to reinvent ourselves. We'll reinvent ourselves.
Yes.
Should we talk about some freaking football?
Let's do it, Jules. I mean, we're basically a quarter of the way through the football season. It's just so great to have it back, especially when you're just chilling. It's Monday night, Thursday night. You're just hanging out, doing whatever you're doing. You have some friends over, you have your girl over, it doesn't matter. And then you just have the football game on in the background. It's just special. And it's just awesome to have the game back because you just never can get bored because you always got the game that you can turn to.
It's a quarter through. It's already a quarter done, though.
It is. So let's take a look at some of the things we are liking, or
it's already a quarter done. That's kind of sad.
Maybe not liking. It is sad, but Jules, plenty of football left, man. It's not sad. It just keeps getting more exciting. We are.
It does. Let's get into it. Biggest surprise of the season right now.
The biggest surprise of the season. I'll let you go first, Jules. Let's hear it.
It's the Ravens' run defense.
Ooh.
I just remember anytime we used to play the Ravens, we used to go into the Wednesday meeting saying we can't beat these guys running the ball. We're going to have to open up our offense and we have to throw the ball because it's so hard to run the ball against them. And that's usually how they are. And granted, we're only a quarter through the season and they usually tighten things up. But it just, they got bullied a couple times by Detroit and last week against the Chiefs. But like, watch, they're going to end up rattling off like 9 wins in a row. Like that. This is what they do every year. They get bored. Hopefully the injury bug doesn't hit them too bad. I mean, got the hammy with freaking Lamar right now. So I don't know that the defense, the defense for the Ravens is just, it's been super surprising for me because I always think that they're always pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, Jules, when we were playing, we feared the Baltimore Ravens defense, but they, in retrospect, they had Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, and you gotta, lean off of them a little bit. They are truly banged up. They're lost that defensive tackle, who's an absolute run stuffer for them. They got Kyle Van Noy. We all love Kyle Van Noy, and we played with him. He was out. And they got a couple other players out as well. So once everyone gets healthy, I'm sure they'll get back up to par. But my biggest surprise of the season so far, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. They finally got a win last week, but they're 1-3 right now, which is very surprising to me because they're in a weak division. And I thought they were going to be able to take it to the next level this offseason. I mean, with their head coach, and CJ Stroud, they had such great rookie seasons. And we all wanted, football fans and the Houston Texans fans wanted to see them take that next step, and become great because he was really, really good his rookie year. And he was really, really good his second year, CJ Stroud, but you didn't really see him take a step forward and get better. And now going into the third year, it was like, all right, maybe he'll, take that leap and be great. Well, guess what? He kind of has leveled off still. He's still playing good football. He's still a good quarterback, but he hasn't taken that leap yet to become great from his rookie year. So that's a surprise for me to not see that happen yet. And I think it eventually will. And also with the Texans being 1-3, they still kind of have a chance, to make the playoffs, but the Colts are spectacular and might run away with that division. But the Houston Texans need to pick it up, and they still do have Jacksonville and the Titans in the division. So that's kind of, an easier schedule. You can pick up some wins there. But they've been slacking. They've been slacking.
They got a good quarterback, man. You don't want it to go to waste. And the defense is so damn good. Their defense is really good.
They are. And they got Nico Collins. I love watching Nico Collins at the outside being the number one. And then, Jules, we got what's next? What team are you most concerned about?
Well, I just said it, didn't I? The Ravens? But
I'm concerned about the Miami Dolphins. Yes, they just got their first win versus the New York Jets, which that's who you should actually be concerned about is the Jets. But the Miami Dolphins, I haven't heard positive news come out of, the Miami area about the Dolphins in like a year. Tyreek Hill wanted out for so long. Coach McDaniels, who's spent all over the place with the media, with his reactions and just the way he's presenting to himself, and just the Dolphins overall at the quarterback position, just everything about them. I'm very concerned. I mean, they did pick up that win, so they're kind of on the right track.
Was Tyreek happy when he got hurt?
And I'm concerned because Tyreek Hill is out now. I mean, he's out for the season.
Was
We're
he
not
happy?
exactly sure exactly what his injury is.
Did you see
but
him
was
come
he
off
happy?
the field?
It seemed like he was relieved. Phew, I can
I've
finally
never
get out of
seen someone-
Miami. Yeah,
I've
like
never
that's what it
seen
felt
someone.
like and looked like.
That's a very painful injury what he fucking had, and he's like giggling. I tip my hat to his toughness, bro. Like to even have that mindset after the freaking his leg was sideways. He dislocated his knee. That is terrible, man.
Awful.
I'm a little concerned with the Niners.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I saw that coming from the very beginning.
I know, but they're 3-1, and they got 2 wins with Mac Jones, backup quarterback, and you know they're gonna get more healthy. They're gonna get Ayuk back here, hopefully in the back half of the season. They're getting a lot. They're gonna get Kittle back, but I'm just a little concerned because you saw the Bosa effect. You saw that not having Bosa, they couldn't stop the run. They got 0 pressures on the quarterback from a 49ers defense. I think it was 0 pressures. Like that's the concerning thing about the Niners. Like you can nickel and dime with the offense. They're going to continue to get better, but like that nickel and dime is a complementary to like a really good defense that can make a big play late in the game. And right now they're going to have to manufacture that. It's going to be a big test for Coach Saleh. And, you know, I think he's a great coach, so he'll figure something out, but it's concerning. It's concerning. And then also, I don't think they're playing. Brock Purdy threw the ball, 38 times last week? He threw it 38 times.
Get the run game going.
Christian McCaffrey had 14, 15, 17 rushes, 16 rushes. They only had you're so used to seeing the Kyle Shanahan offense come off of that run game, control the game, set up that play action. And I know it's a little tough. They got some new linemen. Is their line doing well? They're not getting the yards they want, but it seems hard right now for the Niners. And is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to be sustainable? They started the first quarter 3-1. That's huge. That is huge. Now let's see what these next 4 are, but I'm a little concerned with the Bosa. It was you could see it last week. They got that win. They got first 2 wins, Seattle, because Bosa hit the guy. In the first game, Bosa sacked the guy, fumble, last play of the game. You need your closer. John Beck ain't coming out. San Francisco Giants reference. Guy with the big old hair, he was my closer when I was a Giants fan when I was a little kid. John Beck, he was fucking huge. He ain't coming out. All right, that's
Jules, what's going on with the 49ers? Why are so many star players hurt year in and year out over the last couple of years in San Francisco? Like I don't get it. Like everyone's always hurt on their team. I don't know.
You know what? That sucks too.
It sucks. Sucks big time.
I remember that was like the number one thing we'd always talk about at our organization. Nothing's more important than the health of the fucking football team. And they would, in the off seasons, they would do all this different kind of stuff just to get the strength and conditioning program. So we were able to last. And you remember like the first 8 weeks of the first 8 weeks of the season were like the high injury rate season. Like they're scanning all this stuff. They're getting all the data on this stuff. It's just, I think it's a different study now because of the new CBA and the less practice that these guys have. So they still have some time. They have to figure this out through the data and how they got scientists back there now. They got all these Australian people doing all the load management shit. They'll figure it out, but they got to figure it out soon because there's a lot of star damn players that aren't playing right now. A lot of stars.
Jules breaking it down. I love it, Jules. Always breaking it down and just shooting your shot how it is. All right, let's move on. Rookie, you are loving. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to go with Emeka, a big
that was
big
my
boo,
guy.
right?
Emeka
Egbuka. It's just a tongue twister. But Emeka Egbuka. I'm going to get that right from here on out now.
I think is it Emeka Egbuka? I think it's a silent G.
It is a silent G. Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka. Well,
that's a sick name. Where's it from?
It doesn't matter if it's a silent G because he hasn't been silent, Julian. He's making an impact just as a rookie out of Ohio State University, where that is wide receiver U currently over the last couple of years. It could possibly
LSU's
be
up there
LSU.
too, Bubba.
LSU is up there, but Ohio State definitely takes the
Smith and
top
Jigba.
notch in that category. But this guy is a sensation. What he's doing since week one has just been phenomenal. He's one of the main reasons why the Buccaneers went 3-0, and one of the main reasons why Baker was able to go drive down the field and have 3 comeback wins in a row within 2 minutes left in the game on the game-winning drive. So this guy has just been playing phenomenal. He can basically do it all out there on the field, and I just love how just sensational he is with his big playmaking abilities as well. It's not like he's just a guy that's catching passes for 9 yards and just moving the chains. This guy is a highlight reel at all times.
Strong
and that's
hands.
What makes him so special.
Mika Mbuka is a Nigerian name, which means the one who brings wealth. Well, he's bringing them a plethora of wealth with all those catches and touchdowns through the first quarter of the season. The rookie that I'm loving right now, I'm going to steal your guy, Tyler Warren, the tight end for the Indianapolis Colts. Look, they started 3-1, right? 3-1 with Daniel Jones. There's a quarterback controversy. They got a new star tight end who's had a lot of production throughout all this distraction. He's got 19 catches, 263 yards, and he doesn't have the tutty yet. But he looks to make those big plays like in the middle of the field. Have you watched him at all, Rob?
Have I watched him, man? I've been bragging about Tyler Warren since freaking training camp when I watched him in the first preseason game. This guy can do it all. He lines up in the backfield. He lines up at the tight end position. And just to, watch him catch the ball and punish defenders that are trying to tackle him. I said it plenty of times that he reminds me of myself, but I kind of want to take that back in the category of the red zone. Jules, no one will match Robbie G, the one and only in the red zone. Tyler Warren, 4 games in, 19 receptions, 260 yards, and he still hasn't found the end zone. I mean, come on, Tyler.
It's a rushing touchdown, Rob.
Oh, he has a rushing touchdown. But I love your game, man. You got to find ways to get big in that red zone, man. You're bigger than those little DBs. You're faster than those linebackers. You got to find ways to get open in those little holes and make the play where it's most needed and put points on the board. Love his game.
I like that Skattebo guy too. The running back, little 44, or is he little? How big is he? He's big. Is he large? How big is Cam Skattebo? He's just a fun player.
He's kind of more thick than
I don't think
big,
he's tall.
I would say. Yeah, I don't think
he's
that
5'10",
tall at all.
220?
But that's kind of an advantage for him because he can get low. 216, 5'11".
Yeah, he's
like
not
it.
huge. People were trying to say he's like all-star. All-star was like 235, 225.
Cam Skattebo last year, I'm not an Arizona State fan. Obviously, that's our rival going to the University of Arizona. But when I watched Arizona State play last year, I think I almost became an Arizona State fan because of Cam Skattebo. I was literally jaw dropped every single time I watch him carry the ball. I love his style. I love how he plays. And that just shows when you have a great player out in the field, a guy that just loves to play football, is when your rival, when you're becoming a fan of your rival because of someone on that team, the way that they're playing the football game. Much respect
he plays it
to Cam
tough.
Skattebo. He does.
He plays it hard. I've heard he's loud in the weight room. He's definitely a bro. And by the way, Mike Olstott was 6'1", 248.
Here's one thing, Julian. When he got drafted, because I watched him a couple times there on State. When he got drafted to the New York Giants, I think it was 3rd round, maybe 4th round. I said, that's a great value pick. That's going to be one of the best value picks by the New York Giants in some years. Why? Because his contract is cheap. He's a 3rd round pick. And also, the guy loves football. When you have someone that loves football, you can use him all over the place on the offensive side of the ball. You can use him as a blocker. You can hand it off to him. But the way that he plays the game, I'm worried about him because he may never see his second contract. And I'm hoping that he does. I mean, I've just seen it so many times in the NFL, guys that are like him and they don't last and then they never get paid big, especially at the running back position. So I'm cheering for this guy to get to his second deal. I mean, this is early. We're talking. He's just in his rookie year, but the way that he plays the game, doesn't really last that long, but that's why I love him so much. And I'm hoping and praying that he does last for a long, long time.
All right. Well, those are our rookies. We already talked about it, and we talked about the injury thing. Everyone's freaking hurt. A lot of people are hurt. But who is the most impactful? The most impactful injury is
I'm going with Joe Burrow. You just seen what the Cincinnati Bengals have done the last 2 weeks. They have absolutely got blown out. He kind of looks like one of the best players to ever play the game of football at the quarterback position, just because of how bad his team has done the last 2 weeks. I mean, Jamar Chase, best wide receiver in the NFL, has barely been making an impact on the offensive side of the ball with their backup quarterback in. Good thing they won their first 2 games. They're 2-2 now. They're at 500. But Joe Burrow has been a significant impact by, with that turf toe and not being able to go for the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, I agree with that. And you're seeing, I mean, it sucks because they started fast. Would they start 2-0? Finally. And you saw that they were playing their guys in the preseason, and they were really trying to attack that slow start. And they kind of did. They're 2-2. But the thing is, they lose Joe Burrow. And the one thing, this team's designed for a guy like Joe Burrow. Like, if he's out, then it doesn't work. Like, they don't really have a run game. They don't really have a good defense. They have a lot of great receivers, and they count on one guy to deliver that ball to those guys. And that's Joe Burrow, who's a bad man, but he can't, this team without him, it's going to be tough just because of the identity and how their team is built. They don't have who's running the football right now. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. That is a very impactful. And I'm going to have to go back with Joey Bosa again. That's why I'm concerned with the Niners, because he's the closer. He's a huge part of that pass rush.
I think you're getting the Bosa brothers. You're getting the Bosa brothers confused right now, Jules. It happens. Trust me. People get my brothers and I confused. It's Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is the one in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. But I said that's who I said, right? Did I say Joey?
You said Joey.
My bad, Nick.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, come on, Jules.
No, but
I'm usually the one making that mistake.
Recently, we were getting rehab at the same place. I just saw him, Big Boss. Saw his mom too. His mom, I shook her hand. I said, I don't know how a woman like you pumped out such large human beings. Try to get a little something smile. It was a little tough in there. It was a couple days out. I feel bad for my guy, but you're seeing firsthand that, like, they didn't get that win against a team they probably should have beat. They should have won. Who'd they just lose to? Jaguars. Jesus, at home.
Bad
they
loss.
should. That's
loss.
To a team that has a new head coach, new system, which the Jacksonville Jaguars, look, they're a surprise too. They're playing. They're finding ways to win the game. Their defense is lights out. And they have a lot of playmakers, and it was really good. I know we're on impactful injury, but it was really good. Let's go. It was really good to see Travis Hunter make that play on third down. You see that indigo? They ran indigo, and they hit. Travis was like the clear out guy, and Trevor hit him down the field on the 3rd and long. It's like one of those, no, yeah. And he made a great catch. He went up and got it, but it was good to see him get involved on an impactful play. Lastly, who's the dude we've been impressed with the most?
All right, let's hear it, Jules.
I've been impressed with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I mean, the guy has been impressive every single year.
I know, but we all had concerns. No new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator for these Lions. Oh, how are they going to be? They lose the first game. They lose the first game to the Packers. And they rattle off 3 in a row, and they've looked really good the last few weeks. And he is the spark plug that gets that thing going. You see him in the run game. You see him in these search blocks. They set up the gotta have it moments where he did he slipped the search block, and Goff hit him on that 4th and 5 or whatever it was to seal the game off. They hit him in the red area. He's got double. He can hit you from so different many areas on the field in so many different parts of the game, run game and pass game. I'm sure. I think he's even thrown a touchdown. Like he does. I'm impressed with him. I like St. Brown.
Well, Jules, I got the Detroit Lions winning the Super Bowl this year. That was my pick. So I'm on Ross St. Brown. Keep it up, my man. I mean, he already has 6 touchdowns, which is just ridiculous.
And Puka. I got to go Puka too.
I think Puka is the best wide receiver possibly in the NFL right now. And it's not because he's the fastest or quickest or most athletic. It's just because he is a football player, Julian. He's like you. He reminds me of you. You guys were just football players and get it done whenever your number is called.
He's big,
and that's
too.
Puka for you.
And he's physical. And he catches the ball through traffic. And he fucking grinds for extra yard. Like, I just hope he stays healthy because he's touching the ball a lot, and he's a physical player because he's a big
fearless.
Dude. You know what I mean? He's bigger than what you think. And they're targeting him too, and he gets them, and he goes. That's a good little team over there, man.
It is, man.
I'm really impressed with the LA Rams.
I am. They're going to do some
damage
defensive
line, man.
They're definitely getting to the playoffs, and it's wild the Rams what they have done. Because they gave away all their draft picks and then they rebuilt their team through draft picks once that era, left. Once they finally got draft picks back, they kind of tanked a little bit and then they drafted greatly. Like they got rid of all their draft picks and then finally, a couple years later, they finally got the draft guys and they drafted guys that are spectacular players, and they've been hitting in the 4th and 5th round with their players as well, and that's why they are. Yes, that's why
they also hit on their first guy with versus.
Yes, they did, and he's a beast. He's an absolute tank.
All right, let's move on. Sponsored by Roe. How do you make time for intimacy and great sex in your relationship? It's like they say, always be prepared. And when it comes to bringing the spark back in the bedroom, Rose Sparks has your back. Rose Sparks is a prescription treatment featuring a dual action formula that includes tadalafil. That's the stuff that can keep working in your system for up to 36 hours. That's 36 hours of being ready to go whenever the mood strikes. See if you qualify at ro.co/sparks. These little guys dissolve under your tongue, and once they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. That means you can stop watching the clock and start, enjoying the moment. So if you're looking for a stronger, bigger, thicker erection, more control in bed, and better sex for both of you, it might be time to check out Rose Sparks. It all starts with a simple online visit. I mean, it couldn't be easier. Connect with the provider at ro.co/dudes. And if prescribed, you get $15 off your first order on a reoccurring plan. That's ro.co/dudes. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For safety information, go to ro.co/safety info. We got a segment called Pump the Brakes. We're pumping the brakes, living in the Northeast in the snow. Rob, being from Buffalo, when there's a lot of snow on the ground, you can't freaking slam those brakes. You got to pump the brakes so that we don't get lockups. We don't want lockups.
Just pump the brakes, pump the brakes. And the season is still young, but people have already been making some wild takes that we might just have to pump the brakes on, Jules. These wild takes can get a little ridiculous sometimes.
Let's read some and determine if we need to pump the brakes on them.
Well, it's a little game that we are going to play, and Jules, explain the rules here.
If we disagree with the settlement or it's too soon to tell, we'll say pump the brakes. If we agree with the statement or we're buying the hype, we'll say floor it.
All
kinda
gas,
when you
baby. All
kinda
gas. It's like me on the snowmobile in Buffalo. Vroom,
it's kinda like me when I see a
vroom.
yellow
Ding,
light,
ding, ding,
and
ding.
you gotta put that thing down. And then if we have no freaking idea, we will say keep it in neutral. We'll keep it in neutral.
Here we go.
Xavier Worthy's return has saved the Chiefs offense. Robbie G, what do you think?
Floor it. Full throttle. Xavier Worthy looks every bit of what everyone was talking about with Xavier Worthy. I mean, this guy has opened up the Kansas City Chiefs offense like no other. I mean, Patrick Mahomes looks like Patrick Mahomes once again. The deep balls to Xavier Worthy, the underneath passes, Travis Kelce getting wide open for the first downs when needed now. I mean, this offense just broke through last week, and it was all because of Xavier Worthy's return. And you saw it when he was out. They needed a deep guy. They needed a guy that they can trust on it, the
Stretch
number one,
the offense.
and stretch the
field.
offense so they can do what they need to do in order to keep moving the ball. So this is all gas, floor that baby.
I'm pumping the brakes.
Whoa.
I'm pumping the brakes.
Whoa.
Okay, I think there's more concerns over in Baltimore. And Baltimore never hasn't played Kansas City Chiefs well at all. And the Chiefs aren't scared of Baltimore. A lot of teams get psyched out before they play Lamar. Chiefs ain't one of them. Spags knows how to play them. So I want to pump the brakes on it. And I also think, yes, Worthy coming back has a positive effect, a very positive effect. But I think this offense will really return when Rashee Rice comes back. I think that is the guy who takes this offense to a whole nother level because he's a one-type receiver. Xavier Worthy, he's a field stretcher. You'll give him a reverse. You could use his speed, but he's not Rashee Rice. And when he comes back, that's when you'll see more production from Kelce because he can get less of the coverage. They're gonna have to cover every blade of grass on the field because of the Worthy speed, but Rashee Rice can also go and he can make some plays. That guy's a beast, I think. So I'm pumping the brakes.
Just put it this way. Never count the Kansas City Chiefs out.
Can't.
They're going to be right in the
now.
mix. They're going to be making the playoffs, everyone, and they're going to be doing some damage, and they're going to be dangerous once everyone returns. All right, what's next, Jules? What's next? Let's hear it.
A.J. Brown's days in Philadelphia are numbered.
Whoa. Pump the brakes. Pump them hard. This is kind of like last year as well. We already been through this, Julian, and then they won the Super Bowl, and A.J. Brown came through, when A.J. Brown needed to come through. They need him this year in order to get back to the Super Bowl. Yes, they've been all over the place, the Philadelphia Eagles, but they're 4-0 right now, and they just know how to win football games. And when they need that aerial attack, they're going to have to come through and use it because that's going to have them. That's going to have to help them win games down the future. So pump the brakes. I can see him, though. Now put a little gas on it. Put a little gas right here. I can see him leaving the Eagles after this season, but they're going to need him this year if they want to repeat and be Super Bowl champions.
Oh, you're pumping the brakes, huh? Well, I'm keeping it neutral. Because – yeah, they did this all last year, right? Yeah, they did.
They did.
I don't know where to go with the Philadelphia Eagles on this, but I do know that A.J. Brown loves Mike Vrabel. I do know that Drake May is doing some decent things over there. I don't know,
Just imagine Drake
maybe Batman's
May.
time in Philadelphia. Maybe it's over because those streets are safe. Those streets
I think
are
they're
safe.
going to need him. They're going to need him.
They're going to need him for sure. But I mean, Howie Roseman over there. You know what hey, this team's expensive. This team is expensive. There's a lot of people on this team that are making a lot of money. And if they can get some stuff, maybe some more draft picks or something. I don't know how. I don't. That's why I'm keeping it neutral because I could see him staying. But I could see Howie doing some Howie stuff.
They would only get rid of him if they can get a phenomenal return for him,
Well, they're going to.
before the trade
You'll
deadline.
get a phenomenal return.
Who are they going to throw the ball to as a number one on the outside when the Eagles need it?
They got Goddard. They got Devontae Smith. They got Saquon Barkley.
Those are all three of those guys are inside guys between the numbers.
I know,
phenomenal
but if
players.
he's unhappy and we start book club 2.0 out this thing, and all of a sudden we got, we got new AirPods in our ears because he wants to hear, a Spanish book, and it translated for him. I don't know, dude. It's week 4. We're already dealing with this. We were dealing with this, I want to say probably like last year in week 14. There's a little more light at the end of the tunnel. This is early. There ain't the light at the end of the tunnel is a train. It's week 4.
Hey, I got a bright idea. Give him 20 targets next week. Keep him happy. Keep him happy. I would love it. Let him go for over 150 in the tug.
What if he doesn't get happy?
Well, then you become happily miserable then, Jules. And you know what that's all about.
I do. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is a crazy one. The Bengals offense is in serious trouble. What gas what can you do to go past the gas? NOS. Do we have a NOS button?
Terrible boost. Floor it, Jules.
Floor it. I mean, yes, this is
heavy
this
foot.
Team.
Heavy foot. Oh, it's bad, man. No offense the last 2 weeks. It's bad, man. It is really bad. I mean, outscored 55-6 in the first half over the past 2 weeks. That's terrible. Like, they're not even in the game going into the third quarter. I mean, they got to trade for someone. Trade for Jameis. Your mind's thinking like my mind. Great minds think like they got to trade for Jameis Winston. And not just because because Jameis Winston is available, but Jameis Winston brings so much more to the game of football as well. And he knows how to air it out. Just imagine him in that offense. Even if he doesn't, get them to the playoffs, they're going to be an exciting team to watch every single week because Jameis Winston has the personality that we all love. He has a pass to have that personality as well because that's just who he is and we all love it. And just the way he airs the ball out, he may be going for 5 touchdowns a game.
And there'll be 5 picks too, but we'll all be watching.
Yeah, we'll all be watching.
We'll all be watching if Jameis Winston is in Cincinnati. And I tell you right now, Jamar Chase and Higgins would be pretty happy because they know the ball's coming. They know it may not supposed to be but it's coming.
Triple covered, still coming.
It's coming. And that's why you love Jameis. All right, let's go on to the next one. Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo are the Giants' saviors.
Well, I'm going to stay in neutral with this one because they kind of just did save, face, of the New York Giants organization because they beat a very good and complete football team. They got some injuries and they're a little banged up in the Los Angeles Chargers, but the Giants needed a win bad. They needed a spark. Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo gave them that spark. It kind of gave them a pass, but that's just one game, Julian. It's hard to win in the NFL. We got to see what they can do over a continuous, continuous weeks and pump out wins plenty of times. So it's in neutral. They got the job done, their first time starting together, but we got to see what they can do from here on out as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them saviors. I'm neutral. I'm very neutral because Jaxson Dart can't sustain that kind of play very much longer. There's guys out there like Rambo taking on freaking whole team by himself, getting hit left and right. Like Rambo, he's got his little face paint on and his big ass. You take any more, you can't. That guy takes a lot of beating. And that was a lot of beating. It was a very team morale. That they needed that win as the organization. They needed that win. And it was good to see Cam Skattebo and Jaxson Dart go out there and show out as rookies. But I don't think they're the saviors quite yet because Malik Neighbors injury is huge. That's huge because that guy was one of the guys you could just go throw up to, and he's gonna make some crazy stuff happen. Speaking of that, like, did you ever get hurt in MetLife? Because I broke a foot there on turf. Did you?
Yes, I actually never been hurt at MetLife, but I feel like there's some type of curse going down, at MetLife on their field. I mean, how many guys have either torn their Achilles or ACL non-contact over the last few years? I've seen a number around 8, and it's not just 8, guys. We're talking 8 like superstars, well-known players as well. It's not good. NFL definitely needs to look into that. Maybe it's just coincidental that it's just happening there in New York, but still, it needs to be looked into because you do not want superstar players out for the season.
I mean, we got a doctor on this side. We got a doctor on that side. Turf's the best. Oh, the turf's not the best. Oh, this is, that's. We got to figure something out here, okay? Let's go. I don't know what it is.
Just make it grass. It's easy as that.
Well, then they can't have Taylor Swift concerts, monster trucks. They can't have, the dog competition on one weekend. They can't, like, how are you going to do that in the Northeast?
Let's put a new turf in.
We all got to get the rollers. Okay. You guys you got anyone who's building those new stadiums, you roll that grass right up in and you roll it right up out. Okay. Like Arizona. Every new one should have done that.
And if you're a player, keep your hips loose because your footing is what is causing these injuries because it gets planted into the turf and it stays in the turf. And then boom, your ACL gives out or your Achilles gives out. So if you got loose hips, that will cause, to be less prone to injury.
Yeah.
So loosen up those hips, baby. Get in the bedroom, get those hips activated before you play.
People don't realize, when you're full grown men that are like lifting weights and training extremely hard and you're exerting so much energy, and with turf, all that energy exerts through your body, your joint, your ankles. And so, yes, turf is faster and more precise cuts, but the toll it takes on your body, like you can distribute some of that energy out through grass. Which, there's problems with grass too, but I don't know. The players hate turf. I would think that you would want to keep the players happy. All right, last one. The New England Patriots are back in business. Is this a pump the brakes, a neutral, or a gas it?
Whoa. I would say keep it in neutral, Jules. It's good to see what they did last week. They put up 40 plus points. Their offense looked great. Their special teams look phenomenal. Jones, love his playmaking ability as a punt returner. Electric as can be. You gotta love knowing that you have a guy, that can return punts like that and change the game at any time. But they were also facing the Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina Panthers looked like a disaster once again, just like last year. They're always up and down. When they're up, they're playing decent. When they're down, it's always super down. It looked like they, hit that tidal wave again where they're just super down and just got wiped out. But you got to give the Patriots credit. They're 2-2 right now, and it's good to see a team blow out another team, when you're supposed to blow them out. That means you're not playing down to your level. You're playing high level football, and it's good to see what they did. So I'm just, keeping it in neutral right now, and we got to see them do that again and ride the wave from here after that big win last week.
Yeah, for me, this reminded me of like an old school Patriots win. You were fundamentally sound. You took care of the football. You were efficient in the pass game. You had a good run game. You made a couple plays on special teams. That's how we used to win a lot of ball games. I mean, we used to win at least 1 or 2 games a year because of special teams. And it was good to see a special teams play. Shout out to Jones. I think he broke a record for most all-time point yards in a game. That's huge. Mac Hollins looking like a nice red area target. He's shown up a few times in the red area with Drake. And he's looking. They're getting a lot of good stuff, and they didn't turn the ball over. They had a lot of bad stuff the week prior. against Pittsburgh, where they didn't deserve to win, even though they had a shot to win. A lot of coachable stuff for that team that game that they looked like they coached out. I mean, Drake was 14-17. They kept it a balanced attack. Yeah, there was a punt return for a touchdown. They started well in field position with their special teams, and Diggs had his first 100-yard game. That's huge too. They kept him, I think, a lot in the slot. So, finding where guys get their production. That's what the first 4 weeks of the season's for. There's a lot more film now to study to see where your team is good and where your team needs work on and what you got to bring into the next 4. So it was a great win. They're 2-2 in the first quarter. Let's see what they could do in these next 4.
And seeing them correct their mistakes from the previous week is a big plus,
Huge.
Head coach Vrabel's getting to them, in a very positive way. He's making those coaching points known, and they're correcting it. They're working on it. And those are the teams that are in the playoffs and in the run at end of the year are the guys that can fix their mistakes. And they did that from the previous week when they had 5 turnovers, which lost them the game, I would say, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
1,000%.
Hi, this is Gronk from Dudes on Dudes, and talk about a perfect partnership. I'm here to tell you about protecting your end zone with Dude Wipes. If you're still wiping with toilet paper, you need to listen up. Dude Wipes are a wet, extra large flushable wipe that leave nothing behind in your behind. Because they are wet, and we all know wetter cleans better. Unlike dry wiping with toilet paper, Dude Wipes clear instead of smear. Goodbye, dingleberries. Goodbye, itch and irritation. Plus, if you take Gronk-sized grumpies, or as I like to call them, Gronkies, baby wipes won't do. You need extra big Dude Wipes to handle the job. And they come in different scents and pack sizes, including a single-use, on-the-go pack that you can take wherever you go for that home field advantage. So don't fumble the ball with toilet paper. Stop being an a-hole to your b-hole and start using Dude Wipes. Available on Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes. Best clean, pants down.
All right, let's get into the Chillest Dude of the Week, brought to you by our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and celebrate responsibly.
Well, Jules, crack a nice cold Coors Light, cold as the Rockies, and cheers me from across the country, from the East Coast to the West Coast, Jules. Cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers, buddy.
Oh, that sounded nice. So we have a big week 5 coming up, no doubt about that. And we will go through the slate of games and select our game of the week, second screen game, measuring stick game, and dud of the week, trap game as well, and game with blowout potential. Let's get into it, Jules.
Game of the week.
There's really, truly no game of the week like there was the previous couple weeks.
I think this Niners-Rams game.
You had Dallas Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be hard to top last week's Sunday Night Football. But you said the San Francisco 49ers versus the Rams. That is a pretty solid game. They're both 3-1, both vying for their division. What else we got? I think that's it, Julian. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Seattle Seahawks, 2 3-1 teams right there.
Jacksonville versus Kansas City. That's a sneaky good game. Kansas City, are they going to be able to compound that win against a hot semi-Jaguars team that's 3-1? Look, they're 3-1.
They're under the radar 3-1. What's the best aspect of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Because over the previous years, you just always thought like they were kind of a laughing stock of the NFL. Like, what's making them 3-1, Jules, right now?
Defense in their run game. ETN's, I think, third in league rushing right now. ETN and their defense. I would say the run game and the defense right now. They took care of the ball last week. No turnovers by Trevor Lawrence. They got a lot of weapons. So, like, you want to see, and granted, they're with Liam Cohen for the first time. This is their first go at it. So, new system, new everything. To be 3-1 with the new head coach, new system, new everything is impressive. So, but I think it's the run game and the defense. But game of the week for me, I gotta go. I'm going Niners Rams.
I like it. I think the Niners are so banged up, though. I truly think the Los Angeles Rams are the better team overall, even if the Niners were healthy. So it's going to be a good game. And if the Niners can pull it off, then that would be a huge moral victory for them as well, knowing that they can get it done even with so many guys out. That'll give them a huge boost. I'm gonna go with game of the week. I'm gonna go with the Bucks versus Seattle Seahawks.
That's a good game.
It really, really is.
Wow,
I really
I
like
didn't
what the
see it.
Seahawks are doing this year. I said it at the beginning of the year on Fox, on the first kickoff show, pregame show, that the San Francisco 49ers better win their very first game versus Seattle Seahawks, because the Seahawks don't know who they are yet with the young coach. Sam Darnold as the quarterback, whole new wide receiver room. They shipped off DK Metcalf, and they got to identify their identity, and they didn't really know what it was going into week one, and San Fran pulled off that win. But I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be the better team, down the road, and they possibly already might be. They're 3-1 right now, and the Buccaneers coming off the loss versus the Eagles. This is going to be a really, really good football game.
Mike McDonald. He's got that Seahawks defense running around. They look good, and they got some really good corners. Deep. It just seems like it's always hard for teams to score against Seattle. And they play complementary football. Sam Darnold knows what he is. He's efficient. They run the ball with Kenneth Walker. They're a tough team. They're a tough
really
team. That's going to be a really good game. What's the second screen game?
Yeah, what is second screen game? What is second screen game?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's like you got the big screen, and then you have your little screen. For me,
all right.
My second screen game is Broncos versus Eagles.
Oh, that's a good one right there. That
Broncos
really is.
2-2 Broncos in Philadelphia. Can Sean Payton and Bo Nix? There's crazy stats that I hear Coward talk about, how in September Sean Payton's teams are never that great, and then the next 4 weeks they blow up, and it sounds like there's some merit to it, because he's one of those guys that he's learning what his team does well in that first quarter, and then they got new wrinkles going into that second quarter off of how their team plays, and they have a really good defense. So I think that's going to be a really good game against the Eagles, who they're the Eagles, man. They just know how to win.
They really do. They just get it done, even if they don't put up any really offensive statistics, and they still get it done, just like the game versus the Chiefs. That just knows you're a good football team, and you know how to gel together and just win games. But my second screen game, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Both teams a disappointment this year, but both teams are kind of in desperation mode, panic mode. I would say at 1-2, you're kind of all right, we got to amp it up. But now they're both 1-3. It is desperation mode. Neither of these teams can really afford going 1-4. So this is a game that's a must see, and who can pick it up going into week 5 and get this victory?
Trap game.
Well, Jules, I got to give you credit. Last week, you said live on air on Fox on the kickoff show that the trap game of the week was the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the San Francisco 49ers, and the Jaguars were going to win. And you said, better watch out, 49ers. And you called it, baby. The Jaguars did win that game. So nice job, Jules. You know your trap game well.
Something like that. I said something along those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. I was watching you. I
like that. Well, this week's trap game for me.
Oh, I know who I'm going to go with. Detroit Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals. Everyone's saying
that's trappy.
Yes, that is a trappy game right there. The Detroit Lions are super hot. The Cincinnati Bengals are super low right now, just getting absolutely blown out. Lions are blowing out teams. Cincinnati Bengals have been getting blown out. This is a trap game right here, especially it being in Cincinnati as well.
I think that's the biggest. That, or I would say, I don't think Washington's bad enough for Washington Chargers to be a trap game. But I'm worried about the Chargers. I'm worried about the Chargers. But that's not a trap game.
The only true trap game on this week's of games, of the slate of games, I truly see is the Detroit Lions at Cincinnati. All other games are kind of even. You know, the Detroit Lions. Now we're going into the blowout potential game. Well, this is my blowout potential game as well, the Detroit Lions at Cincinnati Bengals. And that's what makes it a trap game as well, because you're expecting a blowout. And when you expect a blowout, you kind of let off the gas pedal and you keep it in neutral. And then that's when the Bengals can come in with a phenomenal player like Jamar Chase and just light up the scoreboard. So this is my trap game and blowout potential. And if you ask me, the score by end of this game, by the fourth quarter, should be the Detroit Lions 42 points and the Cincinnati Bengals 10.
Wow.
But it's a trap game, so watch out.
I think that's really good. Potential blowout game. My potential blowout game is Kansas City Chiefs going to blow out Jaguars. That's my potential blowout game. Fucking Chiefs could be back.
Is this a game where the Kansas City Chiefs come back to where, back to where they usually are, and also the Jaguars go back to where they usually are as well?
Was that their on
getting
to
blown
Cincinnati
out
moment?
Chiefs blowing out teams and Jaguars getting blown out.
Are the Jags for real? Did the Chiefs find something with Xavier? I don't know. That's potential blowout game.
Hey, I know what you're saying, man. That's a measuring stick game. It could. That's why it's a
measuring stick game's easy. Patriots, Bills.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
We're about to see, hey, we got 2 wins. We just played a good game. We didn't turn the ball over. We did all the shit that our coaches told us to do, and we won. We won against Carolina Panthers. But now you got to stack up and see how you go against a big bro.
Yes.
Right now they're the big brothers in the division. The Patriots do know how to play them.
I got the Patriots.
The run game scares me.
Playing them well.
They match up. I got them
playing them well. But I do also have the Bills going undefeated until like week 10. So we'll see. I think the Bills pull it off, but I think it's a measuring stick to see where the Patriots are, and I think it's going to come down to the wire. And that's what we want to see, too. It's Sunday Night Football. There's been so many great games, Sunday Night Football, man. It's been phenomenal as a fan. It's been so phenomenal to see. That 40-40 tie was just ridiculous. But we got to see where the Patriots stack up now. This is, I would say, their biggest game in the last 4 years to see where they're at.
They got to take care of the football. No turnovers. Maybe a punt return. You got to win special teams. But the Bills they have good special teams too. Look, this is a measuring stick game right here.
The Bills are solid all around.
NFL's king. Oh, look at all of them are good. I mean, the ones that are bad are probably Dolphins. Carolina is bad. That's bad.
That's a terrible game. No one's tuning in.
Thing is, I'll tune into Titans because I want to see what Cam Ward's about after this press conference, and he's frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. I want to see what he's about, and we need to see what Kyler's about too. The Cardinals should win this game. They should win this game, but are they going to win this game? We're going to find out. Football's king. And that was the Chillest Dude of the Week. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and celebrate responsibly.
Well, that's been another episode of Dudes on Dudes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a dude you want us to do. Rate and review. Call in and ask us a question on the Chill Line at 561-203-5789.
And remember to follow Dudes on Dudes on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, and now Discord. We'll see you guys next week. Dudes on Dudes, a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.